30 years ago, Sleepless in Seattle was a sweet dream that turned Tom Hanks, Meg Ryan, and the rest of the cast into legends. But today, that glow has been swept away by time. Wrinkles, illness, broken marriages, and sudden deaths have changed them in ways that are hard to believe. What happened over these 3 decades? Let's uncover the truth and look back at the legacy they left behind. Meg Ryan as Annie Reed. Meg Ryan was born on November 19, 1961, in Fairfield, Connecticut, USA. She was 32 when she played Annie Reed, a journalist engaged to be married, yet swept away by the story of Sam Baldwin, embarking on a journey of destined love in 1993. Annie was the emotional core of the film, a hesitant bride torn between reason and heart, guiding audiences to the iconic ending atop the Empire State Building. From the hesitant bride on screen, Meg Ryan's real-life marriage was just as turbulent. She married Dennis Quaid in 1991, but the pressures of fame and grueling filming schedules strained their relationship. By 2000, her romance with co-star Russell Crowe exploded in the press, and the marriage ended in divorce in 2001. Public judgment turned her private life into a battlefield, forcing Meg to learn how to protect herself while balancing motherhood and her presence in the spotlight. After the storm of her marriage came years of facing herself. Meg endured Hollywood's harsh beauty standards and persistent criticism over alleged cosmetic procedures, which drove her to withdraw, limit public appearances, and prioritize peace with her family. The constant scrutiny left her mentally exhausted. Instead of chasing the spotlight, she chose quiet recovery, occasionally returning for passion projects. Today, Meg Ryan is 63 years old. She has largely stepped away from Hollywood, living privately, occasionally participating in cultural and charitable activities, and carefully selecting projects. Her net worth is estimated at around $85 million, primarily from royalties of her 1990s films and real estate investments. Kevin O'Morrison as Cliff Reed. Kevin O'Morrison was born on May 25, 1916, in St. Louis, Missouri, USA. He was 77 years old when he played Cliff Reed, a family member who helped highlight everyday life scenes in Sleepless in Seattle, 1993. Though the role was small, it brought authenticity and warmth, showing how an artist past his 70s could still leave a mark on the big screen. After those brief moments of shining before the camera, Kevin returned to a personal life full of turbulence. He shared a long marriage with his wife, Linda Soma. However, his career being confined mostly to supporting roles created financial difficulties, and those pressures often placed great strain on the family. Linda remained steadfast at his side, but the instability of acting left lasting scars on their marriage. As age advanced, career struggles gave way to health challenges. Kevin began suffering from memory loss and faced multiple chronic illnesses. After his wife passed away, the emptiness weighed even heavier, leading him to retreat into a nursing home in Washington. From the spotlight of the stage, he quietly spent his final years with only memories and lingering regret for the brilliance that had once been. On December 11, 2016, Kevin O'Morrison passed away in Linwood, Washington, at the age of 100. He left behind a net worth of about $1.2 million, much of it from royalties on plays and older television roles. Bill Pullman as Walter. Bill Pullman was born on December 17, 1953, in Hornell, New York, USA. In 1993, he played Walter, the kind-hearted fiancé of Annie, a man allergic to almost everything, warm but awkward, serving as the gentle counterbalance to Sam Baldwin when he was 40 years old. Walter brought quiet kindness and comedic timing, highlighting Annie's difficult choice between safety and passion. Behind Walter's warmth, Bill Pullman's real-life marriage was a story of endurance rather than scandal. He married dancer Tamara Hurwitz in 1987, and for decades they navigated long filming schedules, constant travel, and the challenges of raising 3 children while their father was often away. Ordinary tensions, responsibility, time, priorities, strained their bond more than once, but they chose communication and preservation, always placing family above fame. Health challenges also left lasting marks. At 21, Bill suffered a serious stage accident that caused permanent loss of smell and numbness in his left elbow, a silent price of the profession. Physically demanding roles and relentless work pushed him to be more disciplined with his body, learning to slow down, recover, and choose roles carefully to avoid aggravating old injuries. Now, Bill Pullman is 71 years old. He continues acting in film and theater, but at a slower pace, spending more time at the family farm in Montana and working in community projects. His net worth is estimated at around $18 million, thanks to films like Independence Day and his theater work, giving him the freedom to pursue projects that truly inspire him. Rita Wilson as Susie. Rita Wilson was born on October 26, 1956, in Los Angeles, California, USA. In Sleepless in Seattle, 1993, she was 37 when she played Susie, the cheerful and enthusiastic best friend of Annie Reed, a character who added a light and humorous balance to the love story. This was one of the standout supporting roles that reminded audiences Rita was not just Tom Hanks's wife, but also a charming actress in her own right. Behind the screen, Rita Wilson's marriage also faced storms. She married Tom Hanks in 1988, becoming one half of Hollywood's golden couple. However, in 2000, their marriage nearly collapsed when Hanks was caught in rumors of infidelity, sending the media into a frenzy. Rita had to endure suspicion and public pressure, but in the end, they chose reconciliation, turning the crisis into a chance to strengthen trust and love. In later years, Rita had to fight an even harsher battle. In 2015, she was diagnosed with breast cancer and underwent a mastectomy, followed by painful chemotherapy. The illness devastated her, but also helped her realize the value of sharing her experience with other women. From then on, she wrote books and participated in awareness campaigns about health. This challenge slowed down her acting career, but Rita found new strength in producing films and engaging in social causes. Today, Rita Wilson is 68 years old. She focuses more on film production and behind-the-scenes artistic work, living with Tom Hanks and their family. Her net worth is estimated at around $100 million, mainly from film production and shared finances with Hanks. Her role as Susie may have been a supporting part, but for Rita Wilson, it became an important piece of her career, and she has continued to hold a lasting place in the hearts of audiences. Tom Hanks as Sam Baldwin. Tom Hanks was born on July 9, 1956 in Concord, California, USA. He was 37 when he played Sam Baldwin, a widower grieving yet longing to find love again in Sleepless in Seattle, 1993. The character became the soul of the film, bringing Hanks closer to audiences worldwide through a mix of romance, warmth, and lived experience. The role also mirrored parts of his own life, where joy and loss often walked side by side. Before finding family stability, Tom Hanks endured turbulent years. His parents divorced early, leaving him to drift between cities with a constant sense of dislocation. His first marriage to Samantha Lewis ended in heartbreak, leaving him with both emotional scars and the responsibility of raising children. The pain grew heavier when Samantha died of bone cancer in 2002, making the memory of loss a permanent shadow in his life, just like Sam Baldwin's grief for his late wife on screen. Health also became a harsh challenge. Hanks publicly revealed his diagnosis of type 2 diabetes in 2013, the result of lifestyle choices and drastic weight changes for roles. In 2020, he and his wife Rita Wilson were among the first Hollywood stars to contract COVID-19, enduring dangerous days that worried the entire world. By 2022, he was diagnosed with lymphoma, undergoing chemotherapy and pausing his career. Each health crisis left its mark on his body and soul, making Hanks older, but also more resilient. Today, Tom Hanks is 69 years old. He still appears in select film projects, but at a slower pace, devoting more time to family, his hobby of collecting vintage typewriters, and social causes. With an estimated net worth of about $400 million, he is regarded as one of the richest and most successful actors in the world. Though wrinkles and gray hair have changed his appearance, Hanks's romantic charm and approachable spirit remain intact, keeping him an enduring icon in the hearts of audiences for more than 4 decades. Rob Reiner as Jay. Rob Reiner was born on March 6, 1947, in the Bronx, New York, USA. He was 46 when he played Jay, Sam Baldwin's close friend, a supporting role that created many humorous moments while also helping to flesh out the romantic and emotional life of the main character in Sleepless in Seattle, 1993. Even though it was a secondary part, his presence carried weight thanks to his long experience as both a director and actor. In his personal life, Rob Reiner also went through many upheavals. His first marriage to actress Penny Marshall lasted from 1971 to 1981 and ended in divorce, leaving behind emotional wounds and conflicts over child custody. Later, he found more stability with his second wife, Michelle Singer, but the fractures of his earlier family life remained a difficult memory, shaping his perspective on marriage and fatherhood. Health was another battle Reiner had to face. In his youth, he struggled with alcoholism, which left lasting effects on his body. Chronic obesity eventually led to a life-saving heart transplant in 2015, a turning point between life and death. His grief deepened when, in 2020, his father, legendary comedian Carl Reiner, passed away during the COVID-19 pandemic, leaving a profound void in both his personal and professional life. By 2025, Rob Reiner is 78 years old. He continues to work as a director, leaving his mark with film projects and active involvement in social causes. His net worth is estimated at around $200 million, thanks to classic successes such as The Princess Bride and When Harry Met Sally. His role as Jay in Sleepless in Seattle may have been small in comparison, but his aging body, heavy frame, and deeply lined face now serve as a vivid testament to a lifetime of dedication. Rosie O'Donnell as Becky. Rosie O'Donnell was born on March 21, 1962, in Commack, New York, USA. She was 31 when she played Becky, the lively best friend of Annie Reed, a character full of wit and blunt honesty, helping audiences better understand Annie's doubts and choices in Sleepless in Seattle, 1993. Becky provided humor, but also a practical voice in the romantic story. Rosie's personal life, however, was full of turmoil. She publicly came out as a lesbian in 2002, a courageous decision that severely affected her television career, even costing her her talk show position. Alongside that, she went through 4 failed marriages, each leaving behind controversy and emotional scars, particularly over child custody. The most painful blow came in 2015, when one of her adopted children attempted suicide, pushing Rosie into panic and long-term psychological therapy. Her health was equally unstable. In 2012, she suffered a heart attack, an incident that forced her to change her lifestyle and confront the fragility of middle age. Afterward came severe bouts of depression, tied to loneliness and the pressures of fame, leading her to announce multiple times her intention to step away from Hollywood. Rather than continuing as a talk show host, Rosie shifted to writing books and participating in political and social activism as a way to find balance. Now, Rosie O'Donnell is 63 years old. After many struggles, she and her son Clay relocated to Dublin, Ireland, seeking peace and a better educational environment for him. She is now writing books, sharing her personal experiences, and remaining a strong voice in social issues. Her net worth is estimated at about $120 million, largely from her years in talk shows and television production. Victor Garber as Greg. Victor Garber was born on March 16, 1949, in London, Ontario, Canada. He was 44 when he played Greg, a close friend of Sam and Jay who brought a lighthearted, relaxed humor to Sleepless in Seattle, 1993. Though Greg wasn't a central role, he added everyday warmth and connection to the film. Victor Garber has long kept his private life quiet, though it has had its share of ups and downs. He has been with his partner, Reiner Andreessen, since 2000, but only publicly came out as gay in 2012. The two officially married in 2015. Keeping that secret for decades had weighed heavily on Garber, as Hollywood was not always welcoming to LGBTQ+ actors. His sense of loss deepened in 2018 when he lost a close friend, a blow that pushed him into a period of sadness and fewer acting roles. Beyond his personal life, Garber has faced health challenges for most of his years. Diagnosed with type 1 diabetes at age 12, he has depended on insulin his entire life. In middle age, he also developed prediabetes and lifestyle-related complications, which occasionally disrupted his acting career. Even minor complications forced him to be careful in choosing projects, prioritizing roles that would not strain his health. Today, Victor Garber is 76 years old. He still appears in some television and stage projects, but mainly lives a quiet life with his husband in Canada. His net worth is estimated at about $5 million, modest compared to many peers, but enough to ensure a comfortable life. Greg in Sleepless in Seattle may have been a small role, but Victor Garber's calm presence and steady career, spanning more than half a century, continue to hold strong appeal. David Hyde Pierce as Dennis Reed. David Hyde Pierce was born on April 3, 1959, in Saratoga Springs, New York, USA. When he was 34 years old, he played Dennis Reed, Annie Reed's brother, in Sleepless in Seattle, 1993. The character offered moments of closeness and warmth, underscoring the family bond in a story centered on love and loss. Though a minor role, it gave Pierce early recognition before his television career skyrocketed. Off-screen, Pierce's personal life was not without tragedy. In 1996, he lost his brother to AIDS, a devastating shock that reshaped his outlook on both family and community. For years, he kept his private life guarded, enduring constant rumors about his sexuality that created psychological strain. It wasn't until 2007, while accepting a Tony Award, that he openly acknowledged his partner, Brian Hargrove, a pivotal personal moment that freed him from secrecy and affirmed the honesty of his relationship. Health has not been Pierce's greatest struggle, but grief and social pressure pushed him to channel his energy into advocacy. He became an active supporter of Alzheimer's awareness campaigns, frequently appearing before the U.S. Congress to lobby for greater funding. This work both helped him cope with personal pain and established him as a strong voice among artists fighting for public health. By 2025, David Hyde Pierce is 66 years old. He continues to take selective roles in theater and television while living happily with his husband, Brian Hargrove. His net worth is estimated at around $40 million, largely thanks to the massive success of Frasier. Ross Malinger as Jonah Baldwin. Ross Malinger was born on July 6, 1984, in Redwood City, California, USA. He was only 9 years old when he played Jonah Baldwin, the son of Sam Baldwin, in Sleepless in Seattle, 1993. His character was the driving force of the entire story, as Jonah's innocence and determination pushed his widowed father toward new love, creating some of the film's most moving moments. Despite his early success, Ross soon felt the pressures of being a child star. Much of his childhood was spent on film sets, robbing him of a normal upbringing. By 2000, as a teenager, Ross decided to step away from acting to avoid further public scrutiny. His personal life also faced challenges. His first marriage ended in divorce in 2015, leaving him with emotional scars. After leaving Hollywood, Ross chose a very different path. He entered the car business, working with dealerships in Los Angeles before opening Automotive Legends in Malibu, a company specializing in restoring vintage Porsche bodies onto modern Volkswagen chassis. Though no longer in front of cameras, he maintained creativity and passion in his new field. Now, Ross Malinger is 41 years old. He lives a quiet life, focusing on his business and spending time with family. His net worth is estimated at around $300,000, a modest sum compared to his former co-stars, but enough to sustain a stable life. From the lively boy Jonah Baldwin, Ross has grown into a man who chose a calm, ordinary path far from Hollywood's spotlight. Gabby Hoffman as Jessica. Gabby Hoffman was born on January 8, 1982, in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, USA. When she was just 11 years old, she played Jessica, Jonah Baldwin's quick-witted, mischievous friend who came up with the matchmaking plan that added humor and memorable childhood moments to Sleepless in Seattle, 1993. Though a small role, it made audiences laugh and provided a charming contrast to the film's romantic atmosphere. Her childhood, however, was marked by hardship and instability. Her father, actor Anthony Herrera, died of AIDS in the 1980s, leaving emotional wounds for the family. She grew up with her mother and sister in the iconic Chelsea Hotel in New York, a place full of artistic energy but also chaos. Entering the film industry at a young age to help support the family meant Gabby lost part of her childhood, facing pressure from both home and the public. By her 20s, those pressures erupted into a battle with drugs. Gabby fell into addiction, struggled with unstable mental health, and came close to destroying her career. It took years of treatment and effort for her to regain balance. Leaving those struggles behind, she returned to independent roles and focused on building a more stable life, carefully selecting projects to avoid overwhelming stress. In 2025, Gabby Hoffman is 43 years old. She continues to work in film and television, but at a moderate pace, while devoting much of her time to family. Her net worth is estimated at around $1 million, earned mostly from smaller roles and independent films. Jessica in Sleepless in Seattle may have been just a childhood milestone, but Gabby's resilience in overcoming adversity has made her a vivid example of endurance in the arts. Carrie Lowell as Maggie Baldwin. Carrie Lowell was born on February 11, 1961, in Houston, Texas, USA. In Sleepless in Seattle, 1993, she was 32 when she played Maggie Baldwin, the late wife of Sam Baldwin. Maggie appeared only in flashbacks, but her gentle image was the emotional spark that set the whole story in motion. The grief of loss, the loneliness, and Sam's journey toward finding love again. Carrie Lowell's personal life also endured multiple marital breakdowns. After 2 marriages and divorces, she found happiness with Richard Gere in 2002, but by 2013 they had separated, leading to a 3-year divorce battle filled with financial disputes. The conflict not only stalled Carrie's career, but also pushed her into a period of mental strain, gradually forcing her to withdraw from Hollywood to maintain stability for herself and her children. Beyond marital struggles, Carrie also faced the pressures of aging and the relentless glare of show business. Stepping away from major roles allowed her to focus more on private life, caring for her children, and seeking peace after so many storms. Though she appeared less frequently on screen, Carrie maintained her grace and elegance, in sharp contrast to the turbulence of her private life. Today, Carrie Lowell is 64 years old. She lives quietly, devoting herself mostly to family and smaller projects. Her net worth is estimated at around $10 million, coming from royalties from her earlier films, her past modeling career, and part of the divorce settlement. On screen, Maggie Baldwin was a fleeting yet beautiful presence, while in real life, Carrie has preserved her charm well into her 60s. Barbara Garrick as Victoria. Barbara Garrick was born on December 3, 1965 in New York City, USA. She was 27 when she played Victoria, Annie Reed's sharp, no-nonsense boss in Sleepless in Seattle, 1993. Though a minor character, she added a pointed contrast, representing workplace pressure and the practical side of life that clashed with Annie's dreamy pursuit of love. Barbara's personal life was never tied to major scandals, but her career carried the weight of typecasting. Theater and television roles gave her steady recognition, but not breaking into A-list stardom left her feeling unfulfilled at times. This uncertainty spilled into her relationships, as she often struggled to balance career demands with her personal life. As she grew older, Barbara confronted another challenge: Hollywood's treatment of middle-aged women. With fewer leading roles offered, she returned to Broadway and off-Broadway, where she could perform without constant scrutiny over her appearance. In recent years, she focused heavily on theater projects and reprised her part in the Tales of the City series, using these works to prove her resilience through decades of ups and downs. By 2025, Barbara Garrick is 64 years old. She lives quietly, rarely sharing details of her private life, devoting herself instead to family and stage work. Her net worth is estimated at about $2 million, earned through television, film, and theater. Her role as Victoria in Sleepless in Seattle may have been small, but for Barbara, it stands as proof of her steady, if understated, presence in the arts. Time has been harsh to them, but the memory of Sleepless in Seattle remains immortal. Who do you think has changed the most? Leave your thoughts in the comments and don't forget to subscribe for more shocking stories.